Welcome to Second Take, the show that focuses on the issues behind the news. South Africans have been living, eating and sleeping soccer for more than 20 days. Terence Creamer, who has attended more than his fair share of games, joins me in studio today to discuss the tournament and what lessons could be drawn from it. Terence, welcome to Second Take. Do you think the World Cup has lived up to expectations, and has it been worth the expense?
Well, I think as a football fan, it's definitely lived up to expectations. We've had the shocks and the roller coaster ride of the World Cup. And it's a great privilege as a football fan to be able to go to a number of games, and I've been lucky to go to them, and I've really enjoyed the stadium infrastructure and the arrangements getting you in there. Whether it's worth the expense, well, it's a big expense. The direct cost, is in tens of billions of rand, and I think we'll only find out what the final bill was maybe when Minister of Finance gives his updates in October. But I think the indirect spin-offs already have been quite powerful for the country. I think we've seen a country coming together, united, and we went through a period of quite bad karma not so long ago. There was a lot of unhappiness around the power outages, around some of the maybe injudicious statements from some of our politicians, a high-profile assassination. So I think considering that background, it's amazing that since the Blue Bull train went to Orlando, we've really come together as a nation, and I think just from that perspective, it has been worth it.
Do you think there are key lessons that can be drawn from the success of the event?
For me, the key lesson is the project management success. Yes, it's time defined. There was a line in the sand, or a concrete barrier in the sand that could not be breached. That was the 11th of June 2010. We had to kick off with the opening ceremony, and we had this LOC led by Danny Jordan that had to coordinate that process. And I think through a very difficult and torrid times, that there was Plan B era. There was talk of it all going to Australia. There was no way we were going to have these stadiums built in time. The transport was going to be a mess, and if you got here, you were going to be killed. So, all round, he was fighting fires on many fronts. And I think the key thing, and it was actually pointed out by Professor Ricardo Hausman recently when he came through he's the Harvard professor, an economic professor, and he has studied South Africa in depth. He said the key thing is that it required a society to work in tandem to pull this off. In fact, he said it's probably the most sophisticated type of challenge that an economy can face, and South Africa has done it, and done it relatively well. That's a key lesson, but we should have the confidence that we can pull off world-class events, and we can deal with large-scale problems, and we face large-scale problems in just about every sphere, from health and education through to our energy crisis. So we should really take confidence. I think that's the key word, that we are able to, if we set up the right structures, if we set deadlines, if we have the right people, and then couple that to the correct resources, we can tackle just about any challenge that is confronting us.
Do you think there's any way that the country can build on the momentum created, and how do you propose we go about in doing so?
Yes, I think that is the big next challenge, and I think we're all going to go through a period of post-World Cup depression and blues, and hopefully we'll be lifted by the fact that there are a few other sporting events on the horizon, like the Tri-Nations. And I think there is going to be a period where memories are going to be short, and there will be a period of recriminations as well. But I think firstly, football, they're going to earn something between 70 million and 100 million US dollars from this tournament, and SAFA needs to invest that wisely. They need to get that sport really pumping again, getting world-class athletes coming through that sport, as well as using this world-class infrastructure that is there. That is a key outcome, I think, of this World Cup. We've got these lovely 10 stadiums. Those assets have to be sweated, and I'm not convinced that the facilities management processes are in place to really sweat those assets. We need to have multi-sporting codes at those facilities. We need to possibly have more than even one football team at those facilities, so those are being used regularly, and also using them for other events. But beyond the sporting assets, there's other infrastructure that will bring benefits. There's the roads and the rail There's the power infrastructure that's going in. But it has been sad to see that we've lost some of the infrastructure expenditure momentum. Both Eskom and Transnet, really underspent over the last year on their capital programs. That was supposed to be our big stimulus package. Our 800 billion rand infrastructure program and rollout was supposed to be what kept us from dipping further into recession. Yes, we've come out of it, but now we've got a construction industry, as some people are saying, under siege. I mean, they really don't have the tender flow. The contract awards aren't coming through. So the momentum wasn't sustained. So there needs to be a knocking together of heads after this World Cup. Take this confidence that the country, when working in tandem, the society working in tandem, we can do a lot more. We can make a lot more progress as a society. And we possibly need to take up Business Leadership South Africa's challenge to set up something what they call Vision 2040, or a 30-year vision to take this economy from being a developing economy with lots of problems and social inequality to being a developed one. And over 30 years. Obviously that 30, for me the 30 years is too far a deadline. We need to set shorter deadlines, high profile people behind those high profile targets around energy, health, education and crime, and get this country working in tandem, and with the platform that we know, that we're a confidence that we can actually tackle challenges and tackle them well.
Thank you very much, Terence. That is the Second Take show for this week. Thank you for watching, and join us again next time for more news analysis.